Imagine a world you could go to where there was no pressure. Most of us would probably do whatever that took to get there, right? In the horse world, when you're working with the horse, if you take that pressure off, that's where they want to be. It's not the pressure that you're putting on the horse that they learn what it is you're wanting them to do. It's when you take that pressure off. That release is the reward. That says, that's what I wanted. And this is great when it comes to working with people too, right? A good leader is gonna stay as soft as you let them and go as hard as you make them.
Being around horses is one of the few times I really experienced peace.
Yeah, I think it'll help a lot with the way that I interact with people in the world.
This program, what BCI did, it takes us and puts us in a vulnerable position, but it opens us up to all this other stuff that we're dealing with.
I came in with no expectations, and you guys well overseeded anything I could ever think or dream of.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of just show you how they move just a little bit. So I'm gonna make my desired behavior easy and undesired behavior difficult. Specializing in wild Mustangs, it has a draw. It's kind of the romance of those horses. We have so many wild horses out there that need our help, and I like the heart of the wild horse. When you're around horses all the time, it changes the way that you interact with people. About 80% of our communication is nonverbal. We get so hung up on the words that we sometimes forget about the other ways that we communicate. And I think that getting back with the horses will kind of bring some of that out, and people will realize that their nonverbal communication is every bit as important as their verbal communication. Another cool thing about horses is that they are 100% in this moment right now. They never think about what happened yesterday. They're not worried about what happens tomorrow. So we're gonna really concentrate and really focus on forgetting about anything else that's going on and just being in that moment right there. I think that as we work with horses a lot, we kind of can start living our life that way.
Stepping into the ring with the Mustangs, there's just that moment. That's all it is, that moment.
And pay attention to the cues and what the horse is showing me. It was a lot about the training, but it was also just me relaxing and not thinking about, if this happens, do this. Groundwork with a horse is a different animal or a different aspect completely than riding a horse.
When you ride a horse, the horse is already adapt to being in your demand. When you do groundwork with the horse, and especially these Mustangs, you equalize the relationship between the horse and the person. And that takes a lot of courage, but it also takes a lot of staying open to how you communicate.
Being able to go in and have, you know, a bunch of different horses to choose from and really, you know, pick a bond and figure out which ones you connect with, and then going out and, you know, spending some time with them, and going through some stuff together. I think that was the big highlight.
I felt a bond already, or at least a challenge for that bond, and there was a different feeling for that, you know, picking your own horse.
He told us to pick one that kind of we felt a connection with. And, you know, he had his head down there, and I walked up, and he looked up at me, and then he showed me his other eye, and then so I was like, "You're cool." He stood up. Yeah.
The horse selection was interesting because I needed to have that challenge, because that's something that I needed to work on, being able to draw a horse to me. So I didn't want a horse that just sidled up right next to me.
You think that's the horse you want to work with? Okay. Awesome. Before we go to the arena, we'll get a halter on their pick in here. We'll let them lead them around in their stalls and kind of get them comfortable with the one they picked.
I'm going to put herself on her left side, and then she needs to get her nose into the part where the knots are. She's doing it already. She's helping you.
We're going to go a long walk around. We usually make a shortcut, but I want you guys to kind of get used to these guys a little bit.
Mustangs, they were out there, free, and did what they needed to do to survive, and together. It was a very herd mentality. They had a rank structure that Jeff explained to us that they have, and so I felt a lot of commonalities.
Horses will have different roles within a herd. There'll be some horses that are sort of protectors and then nurturers, lookouts. They have horses that really do tend to different roles.
Civilian life. The biggest challenges I've faced coming back have been coming back.
Patience, anger, interpersonal relationships, connections, even acceptance. I think acceptance has been one of the biggest things.
To fight war, to do your missions, to do what the military or what the government's asking you to do, to come back to civilian life and just shut that off is very difficult.
Yeah, you come back and you're like a wild animal, you know? You don't respond normally. You get keyed up so quickly. To turn off those responses when you get back, you're usually left to your own devices to find those answers.
Having him go and work with the Mustangs in the morning and come back is exciting for me and for my daughter. We get to hear about what they did that morning, but it's also reassuring to me to see him come back relaxed.
My youngest daughter is 8, and she's been able to join me for this event, this kind of program. And this is my first summer that I have with Camille for the whole summer. It's always been a week or two.
And it's interesting to see the dynamics with the other families that are here and how they kind of fit in, and even the kids, they're like-minded because they've gone through similar experiences.
Having my family here with me was a huge part, because I know that they've noticed the change, I guess you might call it, a progression that my journey in this experience.
You know, we're always looking to help everybody else. We just don't necessarily want to help ourselves. And to have our families here, they can see we're here to help ourselves.
These guys have created a terrific bond between each other, which was really nice to see already day one. But the whole mood of how it's going, how they open up and share their stories, it seems to me that they're actually learning quite a bit too.
Meeting the rest of the guys was great because just to see the different layers of like people going through the process, because we're all at different steps in our personal recoveries and therapies. I didn't expect us to click so quick, to bond as well as we did. Definitely a good group of guys.
It's not just the military personnel that connected, but it was everybody. I mean, every aspect of the program was awesome.
We weren't alone. When you're out there, especially with us, and we noticed on that last exercise, we're all working together and there was rules and stuff like that. And that was really interesting because all of us been leaders in our time when we served. And the biggest part of leading is knowing when to follow.
I think the horse is a mirror to us. And some of the things that we don't necessarily want to see in ourselves, the horse kind of exposes probably in a kinder manner, in a subtle manner.
Anytime we work around horses, it's a chance for us to reflect on ourselves. It's a chance to look inwards.
When things change, things move. So if you can move the horse, you can, change stuff in your life if you want to.
I have no question in my mind or in my heart about how beneficial this is. Not just for the vets, for their families, and for everybody that they come in contact with for the rest of their life.
This experience at BCI has given me a closer bond with my daughter. It's given me, inside, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot calmer and sure.
But as part of therapy as well, that mind-body connection that you get with those horses is fantastic. This whole program is great. Definitely try it.
First of all, I'm taking with me 3 brothers that I never knew that I will probably be lifelong friends with. I'm taking with me this ability to just live in the now, live in the present. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
I hope the brothers you guys help after us find healing, that's okay. It's okay to be a warrior. It's okay to be a veteran.